In this video, you will learn the 20 most commonly used advanced vocabulary for IELTS reading.
Consecutive. Following each other continuously. Succeeding. Sequential. Progressive. If you miss 2 consecutive classes in a row, the instructor will drop you from the class. Heritage. Property that descends to an heir. Ancestry. Lineage. Tradition. It can be exciting to explore our heritage and see where our ancestors came from. Pervasive. Spreading widely throughout an area. Prevalent. Widespread. Ubiquitous. In many cities, police corruption is a pervasive issue that touches all communities. Acknowledge. To admit to being real or true. Recognize. Admit. Take into account. We have to acknowledge that something is wrong with our ecological system. Aesthetic. Relating to art or beauty. Artistic. Ornamental. Good-looking. The company has proved enormously successful in both commercial and aesthetic terms. Biased. Preferring someone or something unfairly. Prejudiced. Partisan. Discriminatory. It is true that most newspapers are biased towards one particular political party. Concurrent. Existing simultaneously, or side by side. Coincident. Coexisting. Simultaneous. The criminal was imprisoned for 2 concurrent terms of 30 months and 18 months. Deviation. Departure from a standard, or custom. Divergence. Alteration. Digression. Normally birds fly south for the winter, but there is a deviation from their usual routine. Depiction. A representation in words or images. Portrayal. Description. Interpretation. She is a successful artist, painting beautifully detailed miniatures and depictions of local life. Exemption. Permission to ignore rules or obligations. Release. Exoneration. Freedom. He was exempt from physical education requirements because of her health problems. Facilitate. To make something possible or easier. Support. Mediate. Empower. The translator will facilitate the conversation between the immigrant and the attorney. Genre. A specific type of music, film, or writing. Category. Classification. Department. Rock was her favorite genre of music, but she also had a secret love for country. Legitimate. To make something legal or acceptable. Lawful. Justifiable. Sanctioned. Most doctors appear to recognize homeopathy as a legitimate form of medicine. Privileged. Special benefits available only to some people. Advantage. Prerogative. Benefit. Only the privileged few could afford to send their children to private schools. Scrutinize. Inspect closely and thoroughly. Examine. Investigate. Inspect. Before you purchase an expensive item, make sure you scrutinize it for any defects. Tentative. Pertaining to a trial, not certain. Hesitant. uncertain, doubtful. Without the results of the blood test, the doctor could only make a tentative diagnosis. Unanimous. A complete or absolute agreement. Congenial. Concordant. Like-minded. Because the jury could not reach a unanimous decision, the case will be revised. Abandoned. Left without care and protection. Deserted. Discarded. Uninhabited. The game was abandoned at halftime because of the poor weather conditions. Dysfunction. Not operating normally or properly. Abnormality. Malfunction. Aberration. Treating the man's sexual dysfunction required medication as well as psychotherapy. Emerging. Just beginning to exist or be noticed. Growing. Promising. Developing. It is difficult to manage an emerging business and an emerging family at the same time. If you like my video, then like and subscribe. And share as much as possible.